Hi friends, this is Layla, and I want to show you the 6x6 sample paper cards that I made last week. This is a tutorial I found on Karen Titus's blog, and I have changed it up just a little bit, but I want to share with you what I have done and what I plan on doing with it. So it is basically a 6x6 piece of paper with an inch down here, and I mixed and matched them to get this little strip. And she always used, like, this side of the paper would be here, but I changed it up in two ways, and I want to talk about that tonight. First, I swapped around with all 5 of these papers. I kind of mixed and matched the accent piece. Second, I only adhere to here and here, and that allows me to put in a gift card. If I don't want a gift card, excuse the puppy dog interruption, he thinks I'm talking to somebody. You can just leave it flat. I still only glued here and here, but it will be perfect for just as an accent strip. You can even make this a little bit narrower and all that. And then I punched a second hexagon to cover the back here, because when I punched this hexagon, I cut it in half and then spaced it out to this one. And so there's a little bit of a gap. Now the great thing is that this does not take any extra paper, because I punched it from this contrasting piece right here. Not this one, but the one in the middle. So here's an example I did with circles. And then I realized I had cut the paper wrong, so it's a little bit crooked, and I just have it used as an example for cutting out the paper. So you want to leave about a 1/4 inch around here, but then when you cover it over, you'll never know that it was, we robbed some of the inside of the paper to make some accents. So these are the Latte Love cards, and I use the faceted gems that are in the clearance section right now. Instead of the swirly ones that come from Latte Love, I like the extra sparkle. And I love the blue. This is Lost Lagoon, or Pool Party. But between the 3 of them, they all work together so well. This is Lost Lagoon, so this has to be Pool Party. I am still learning the names of these papers. And so you can see here, this one has a nice solid after the busy front and the busy inside. And this one too. So you really only need 4 products to get you going on these set of cards. One of them is the Latte Love paper packet, and also the stamp set, and the hexagon punch. I'm going to get a lot of use out of this, and I hope it sticks around for a long time, because it's been really fun to use. And then the gems, or whatever type of embellishments you want to use. I pulled a lot of my paper cardstock colors from the Subtles package of cardstock, 12x12, and that, of course, Early Espresso is from the neutrals, as well as pecan pie. But so I just mixed and matched, and these are from the 6th sheet of paper available in this paper packet. I fussy cut some of them, and then I had a friend's die that she let me use, and I cut out a few of them. And that this one is really unique because it actually was an edge piece, and it's actually cut off like here, and so that's why it's tucked up here, so that it will hide the cut. So let me show you how to make these. This time around, I am going to use the Snowy Wonder paper collection. And I'm also going to use my deckled rectangle dies. So I have this piece of paper already cut, and for example, here I took a piece from another sheet, and now this is a 6x6. And so what you're going to want to do is take this and cut it so it is 6 inches wide and 5 inches tall, And then you're going to score it 2¼ inches from the right edge when you're looking at the inside of the card. So when it's folded and you're doing your scoring, you're going to be looking at the inside, not the outside paper. And so I've already done that score mark. It is right about here. And I'm going to fold it over. And so I'm just having a little bit of a houses on the outside of the card. And what we're going to do is we're going to layer this. And we're going to layer this. Poppy Parade. And then this is Garden Green cardstock. And this is the two-tone cardstock. Actually, Poppy Parade is 2 because I bought the 12 by 12 two-tone coordinating cardstock pack for Snowy Wonder. That is kind of a scrapbooking product, but I just loved being able to grab a cardstock pack that had all of the coordinating colors for this paper pack. And I'm probably thinking that it's not even Snowy Wonder, but that is what the scrapbook workshop is called. So I don't want you to assemble this yet because we need to make the backer mat for this. So this one was cut from that deckled rectangle, and I'm going to cut this one from that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to adhere this with a little piece of washi tape. Here, and I just realized that this is 4 inches wide, so I'm not going to be able to use my itty bitty embossing full machine that I love. So I'm going to take it over here and use my Big Shot. Okay, so easy. Okay, now we can layer these and put them together. I have started to fall in love with wet glue. Even this Tombow Mono that is sticky when it's dry, because you can scoot things around a little bit and not have to be precise when you lay them down. So here I'm able to put things in place and kind of line it up again. There we go. And as I always say, put your adhesive on your smaller element. Don't put it on the background because it might show. Because you might stray out to the edge. And that. I also really like to glue my corners down. So there we go. And now I have these two items. And first I'm going to work on assembling my little snowy scene here. And I think what I will do is, I have the snow globe, but it's kind of plain with it white on white. And so I am going to grab a scratch piece of paper to layer this, and then I am going to grab a blending brush and an ink. Now, I don't have all of my inks yet from Stampin' Up, but I do have a few. This is Coastal Cabana, and I think it's going to be fine. I was thinking I was going to have to use Glacier. So I'm just kind of extending the blue scene onto the white. And then I'm going to really work along the edges to kind of add an extra little bit of... That's enough, Howie. Howie! Are you done? Come on, stop. I'm going to add some along the edges just to make it a little bit more framed. Okay, that's good. And with that, I'm going to pop it up. I attempted to use a Stampin' Blend to color the carriers sheet or the cover sheet of these little dimensionals, and it didn't quite work out as I planned. It actually resisted the ink on the outside surface, and the reason why I was doing that was to make them show up on my desk, my very messy desk, a little bit more easily. Oh, they're definitely easy to find now. They're also called an eyesore, but don't worry about it. They still work the same. So I'm gonna put this here, and then I also have a cute little tree, which will get layered up here. And somewhere in my pile of goodies, was my red. Oh, thank goodness for editing. Okay, through the power of magic of video editing, I found my bottom of this little snow globe on the floor, and you didn't have to listen to me look for it. Okay, you'll be proud of me. I figured out that the flat end of this is the opposite of the pokey tool on this, and it's really good for getting these little guys off. I'm still learning. Oh, what a learning curve this has been. Okay, it's off a little bit, but you know what? My recipients aren't going to notice. If I have a recipient, I am notorious for not sending my cards out. Okay. Actually, I did really well last year with Christmas cards, and I sent almost everything I had. So some of them were very old. I die cut this little tree. Actually, I die cut everything that you see here from one of the other sheets of paper in this paper pack, using the dies that come along with the stamp set. So let's take a look at those. Here's the stamp set. Snowy Wonder. I am calling it the right thing. I like to stick my dies on magnet sheet that's adhered with double-sided tape on the inside of my case. So I use this, and I use that, and then I use this little tree right there for some of the other pattern paper, and was able to get quite a few things out of like a 3-inch wide strip. And as I use my stamps, I actually do adhere them to the back of the case, and that. I don't take the time to do it all at once, so it's just a process of me moving them over and that. So I'm sure they're going to be a hot mess when I sell it, but we'll get there after it retires. So that looks pretty good for now. And I am going to adhere this like that. Whoops. It's a good thing this is liquid glass or liquid glue, and I can scoot it around. Okay. And you know what I'm going to do if I have any trouble with bleed? Right there is some sticky. I'm going to cover that up with an embellishment. Okay. Stampin' Up! Has a really great adhesive. It just came off of back order, and mine will be hopefully on the way here next week. So let's put a snowflake up here because there's a little bit of adhesive showing. 3, 4, 5. I'm going to stick with my odd numbers. If you've been waiting on these embellishments, they might be back in stock sometime this week. Seems like it said that the week of October 21st, they were going to be returning. So that could be 5 o'clock on Friday night, like the adhesive showed up, but it still could come back this week. So there we go. And let's glue it down. Now, when you glue this down, you don't want to center on this. You want to center it from edge to edge. And the red is 4 inches. And so what I did before is I used a ruler because those hexagons had a point at the top. But this time I'm going to try something different. I'm going to line it up here, and it says 3/4 of an inch. So if I line it up here, it's 1 inch. So I just know it's a 1/2 inch on either side from the edge of the red paper. And I'm just going to eyeball it. I mean, I got it measured. Now I'm going to eyeball it. And I really need to focus on only gluing on this side. And so I put glue here, and then I am going to put glue on the outer edge here, so I don't go too far into the middle of it. Yep, scoot it over. There we go. And so now we have another little one of these hinge cards, and it shows off 2 of the paper designs, and then we're going to do a 3rd paper design because we're going to add this. I think this is a little bit big and busy, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it down to 3/4 of an inch, maybe 5/8. Ooh, okay. I have a new to me paper trimmer. That's a guillotine. Bear with me. So I like that better. And now I need to cut it down to, this was only 5 inches tall. And once again, I'm just going to grab a little bit of a wet adhesive and apply it to the ends so that if I need to, I can put a gift card holder, or turn it into a gift card holder. Most recipients that don't receive a gift card won't even realize that this was a pocket. Isn't that sneaky? It's like a 2-in-1. So there we go. Now we have another one of these fun folds done, and you realize you can use any sort of die or punch to layer this and that. So the other thing you can do is, if you didn't want 2 layers back here, you could just mount the DSP and have it 5 1/4 inches tall and go back out to this edge here. Or things might look a little different. It's totally up to you. Just play around with it, and let me know what you think of this video.